All right, back again. So I saw like a day ago, I think, that it's would have been BB King's 100th birthday, which is pretty interesting to think about, The dude has been his music's been around for quite a while now, but it made me think about, just some of the old BB King songs that I used to enjoy. And I didn't listen to him as much as other blues guys, but obviously, no one can deny the legacy of the legend, BB King himself. The first thing I want to do is I want to look at this old BB King performing in Sing Sing Prison because that was really like a powerful, really powerful performance and an. Entertaining watch. So let's go through that. And there's some really interesting characters right off the start of this whole thing that really set the tone. Before we jump into the actual music. So the first interesting character that we encounter at second zero is David Hoffman, right? He's the guy who actually filmed this back in whatever, and he sort of sets the stage at the beginning.
It's David Hoffman, filmmaker, about to show you a piece of film. I call it B.B. King said this was his best performance. 1973, Sing Sing Prison, New York's most famous prison.
Now, at the beginning, we've got the creator of the film, David, explaining to us sort of a background of how this film came to be. He talks about the notoriety of the prison and how a lot of people have been electrocuted there. There was a riot that occurred there that was very, very well known. A lot of inmates were shot and killed. It sounds like, it was pretty harsh in there. So he talks about how he became involved with this prison, started teaching the inmates crafts, art, you know, filmmaking and such. It's quite an interesting, it's a nice story. He also talks a bit about, characters he met while he was working in the prison. And I remember seeing quite a couple of characters, very interesting type of guys when I watched this. But he talks about how there'd been a concert in a prison filmed with Johnny Cash in Folsom. I think it was Johnny Cash in Folsom Prison, which seems to have been a predominantly white prison, if I'm not mistaken. But then he goes to this, black and Hispanic prison. I think it was mostly it's a prison in New York, so I guess it was a lot more integrated than other prisons. But he then talks about how he decides to put this Thanksgiving concert on for them, and he manages to get B.B. King and Joan Baez and two other acts that I'm not as familiar with. It's a very interesting story. It's very connected to his personal life, actually, which is makes it that much more interesting.
Right behind me is the Hudson River and panorama of the Palisades. Maybe you think that I'm up in Catskills somewhere, but you're wrong. Though I'm here and the river is behind me, it's true, I'm up the river. I'm up in a place where I'm just a number and a face among 1,200 other faces and other names and numbers. This is the Arson and Correctional Facility, known the world over as the famous Sing Sing Prison.
of that little bit of drama, but it's a nice little somber introduction to what we're about to get into. You need to be reminded of where you are when you listen to this. It really changes the atmosphere of what you're hearing and seeing when you actually get to the performance.
This is my cell here, where I keep all my supplies, where I can get them handy.
But yeah, here's one of the characters that we've got here. This guy, he's like your resident wise guy, He's got everything you need. He can sell you a little bit of this, little bit of that. Bada bada bing, bada boom. It's mafioso type, just he's decked out. I don't know. He's not sucking anyone's cock in this prison, I'll tell you that. If you need it, he got it. But yeah. Then of course we've got the legendary Mr. B.B. King himself. He's just cool as a motherfucker, man. Let's get some nice little sound bites from Mr. King.
Good morning, BB. Had a good day today.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun today. I'm like an old engine. I'm starting to turn it now. Once I start turning, I'm all right. I'm ready.
First of all, BB in his sick ass robe, his kimono, makes him nice and aerodynamic. But he's clearly a man of style and taste, so
Hey, yeah. Hey, look at him. Dick. Yeah, I like that. Don't you like that? No. How about a brown? Yeah. Yeah. Get a brown shirt. Yeah, I like that. And then we wear brown shoes with I think the fellas ought to dig that. Yeah.
it's just there's something cool about him, man. He's saying basically nothing about what he's gonna wear. And it just sounds sick. How is he stumbling over his words with such style? Right, and here's another character that we've got with the glasses and the beard.
Oh, we're gonna start working on a film today. And this is the first time we have a film take on Sin Sin. First time, and I hope it won't be the last one either. And we thank you all you guys for everything you've done. We're gonna have B.B. King, the boys of East Highland, John Baez, and all the guys from the Sin Sin.
Now that is not a character. I don't know. He just reminds me so much of Father Guido Sarducci. If you've ever listened to Handsome Boys Modeling School, the project with Prince Paul and Dan the Automator. But Handsome Boy Modeling School made me the best male model in all of the Balkan countries combined. It reminds me of that dude. Handsome Boy Modeling School, the best of $50 you ever spent in your life. You won't regret it for long. It reminds me so much of that character. It's so good. I love it. I get a smile on my face every time I see this guy.
Well, we're going to Sing Sing. I've never been to it before. I've played many reformatories. Never been up here.
Man, see, everything about this dude is just... he's just so cool. He's played many reformatories. He's like the cool version of like a Colonel Sanders type of character, He's like him, but he's got style.
We had turkey, dressing.
This is another great character. This kitchen chef. It's just like a lovable dude.
Cranberry sauce, peas, pie, coffee, milk, the regular procedures that you have in any institution.
Just the regular procedures you have in any institution. He's got such a friendly demeanor and face. It's a cool dude,
How much time do you got? Oh, I got 5 years. I should be going home by next month anyway.
What are you here for?
Oh, I'm here for armed robbery.
Now that took me by surprise. This dude is in here for armed robbery. Would never guess. With that demeanor, he just doesn't seem the type, right? But good to know he got out of there within like a month of this being made, so that's pretty cool. At least he got to see BB King for free. Well, as free as that can be, right? Yeah.
You armed robbery?
Oh yeah.
Is that right?
Sure. I'm not proud of it. Don't get misunderstand me.
That's BB King, part of the group for the concert today. BB King. Yes.
So you going inside or what?
Yes, sir. I think they're having it inside there.
Let me check over here.
All right.
We have quite a few people in the institution now, and we must have your cooperation, especially the ladies on the bus here. We are not used to this sort of thing, but we're trying to put as much protection as we can on each and every one of you. So you have to pay attention, or you're going to get lost, and you're going to be confused. See?
And if you get lost in here, that means that we can't go home and eat Thanksgiving
I
dinner.
can't go home if you don't come out. Don't you understand?
That's right.
I also like the two officers in the bus, like a little comedy duo act. Mr. Serious giving the speech, and his buddy, Mr. Cool, off to the side. If you get lost, I don't get to go home and have Thanksgiving dinner. They should take that. They should take that act on the road, you know? Take that, just turn that bus around, get out of there, make some money.
But anyway, I want to bring on the big one. And I guess y'all know who it is. Y'all all set up, they're getting that thing together. Because you're going to be setting up. I want y'all to make them feel at home. Because the man been traveling, he's kind of tired. But I want y'all to make him really feel home. Let's have fun. Come on now. Mr. BB King, come on.
And as tired as he is, he's not at the point of his career yet where he's going to sit. We're going to see BB King on his feet. Okay, this is archival footage. See that right off the bat, that combination, the light touch and the hard pick attack once in a while for emphasis. He was really the master of, you know, the pick attack, just the variation in the strength. You'll see he's not by any means a fast player. He says it himself. He's got dumb fingers, you know, but they've got feel, that's for sure. That's where his technique really goes. It's the note choices, the phrasing, and honestly the pick attack. Oh, and let's not forget the classic BB King left hand vibrato. You know, that's unparalleled. No one has that kind of wide vibrato like he does. Every note just perfect, right? Nothing extra, nothing getting in the way. Perfect note selection. And again, the dynamics. The way that phrase started off really softly and built up to the end. Master of tension. Master, honestly. And the master of the bend. Man, the way those bends are so smooth and clean. He plays them in just such a fluid manner. He just hits it so well. Also, tuning his guitar in the middle of the song, pro move. I could never. Perfect. But after this, he gives a nice touching little speech to the inmates, truly in the tradition of the blues man as preacher, doing the usual thing, like you would expect from a Son House type of figure, even. But he speaks to the people about how he was told that they don't know about the blues. They've never heard the blues. And he kind of thought to himself, if anyone, then this is a real moment where you see how the blues man can talk to the people through his music, but he does this through speech, where he says, if anybody in the world can feel the blues, it's you guys. You guys know the blues. You've experienced the blues. And I guess, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. There's a lot of guys in there really down and out. So he's really playing what they're feeling in that moment. And it's powerful. It really is. Especially knowing that they're there on a Thanksgiving holiday when most people are with their families. And, this concert also shows off B.B. King singing in his prime. Because, man, listen to this voice.
You're so evil when I'm with you, baby, and you are jealous when we're apart. How blue can you get, baby? The answer's right here in my heart.
And he feels it, you can see, He's really expressive. His singing is just as expressive as his playing is, honestly. I think that's kind of overlooked a lot of the times when people talk about B.B. King, especially because we mostly think of him in his old age, I think. And I do feel his voice kind of didn't hold up as well into his old age as his playing did. Let's see he brings out a sense of humor here too.
I gave you a brand new Ford, but you said I went in Cadillac.
And of course, the crowd loves it. This is it was the peak of what we now see as boomer humor. All ball and chain jokes.
I bought you a $10 dinner, and you said thanks for the snack.
It's still funny just to see him strike a pose and speak in that way.
Once you live in my penthouse, you said it was just a shack. I gave you 7 children, and now you want to give them back.
I'm sure there's a lot of guys in there who wish they didn't need to pay for all these kids. I'm sure of it. Tends to happen in a prison, I guess. I know a couple of guys have been to jail who say, talk about the number of kids they got. They just want to give them away at that point. Like you go over to visit for supper and it's like, hey, why don't you take some leftovers and one of my kids, because I've got more than enough for everyone. Please take them. So yeah, that was really great. You can really see how the music connected with these guys. Just looking at the faces in the audience, the way they react, the way some of them are just kind of, pensive, just letting the music, just wash over them while they think about, I presume, their lives, what got them there in the first place. But other guys are really just just rocking out, just really having a good time as well. You get the full range of emotions in there, and he draws it out of them in an incredible way through his songs, with the different moods that he portrays. There's humor, but there's also sadness, and there's triumph, but there's loss. It's great. He's a legend for a reason. He really kicks ass, honestly. He really is the king. the blues boy king. It's all in the name.